I'm Alex Radical from Board Game Co. and today I'm doing a playthrough of Cascadia Alpine Lakes. A solo playthrough specifically, that's why it's just me over here. Cascadia Alpine Lakes is the newest standalone version of Cascadia. It's basically Cascadia if Cascadia had levels and slightly different ways that the game operates. It's familiar yet very different. It is brain-burnery. This is not a review video, although I will say I have played this game enough times that I enjoy this game. I'll tell you that already. I've played it solo, I've played it competitively, and I'm playing it solo again right now. I've also played it solo with the wrong rules. That was my very first play. In fact, maybe over on Ko-Fi and Patreon, I'll throw up a video of me playing this with the wrong rules. It's not my fault. I know sometimes I get rules wrong. Sometimes it's my fault. This was not my fault. There was a small mistake in the rulebook that led to the game almost being impossible to be as optimal. Whatever. It might be on Ko-Fi and Patreon. Don't become a member just for that, because it also might not. It's kind of whatever. We'll see. Anyways, this is a solo playthrough of Cascadia Alpine Lakes. I will be diving into this. If you are familiar with Cascadia, this will be very familiar. If you're not familiar with Cascadia, I will be talking about what I'm doing as I go through it so that you will better understand it. I'll also say this is a prototype. Rules, components have to change, and I'll have a link to the crowdfunding campaign down below. I thought I had something else I was going to say. Oh, yeah, and the reason I want to say the prototype part is Cascadia. I love these scenarios in Cascadia, but right now, because prototype, we're very much in the draft phase where, like, some of those things aren't really done yet. So there's not really, like, you know, the full set of scenarios over here. This is all fake. It's not real right now, so we can't play it that way, which means we're just playing solo to get the best score possible, which the best score possible is 120 plus would put me at Ascended. The last time I played it solo, I got 78. That was the time I played it wrong solo. So while I played it correctly with multiplayer, I have not yet played it correctly solo. So we're going to see what happens when I can actually play it with the real rules. Anyways, with that said, let's go ahead and walk you through this. The basic idea of the game is you're going to be drafting pairings of tiles and animals. You're going to be doing that 20 times. You're going to have your starting tile plus 20 drafting of these. We'll walk you through how the solo puzzle works, but basically you're trying to score based on these goals. These cards over here, of which there are a whole ton of these cards, you're going to pick one for each of the terrain types, and that's going to give you how you're scoring for terrain types. If you are familiar with Cascadia, regular Cascadia, the main difference here is you score for terrain rules and restrictions as opposed to the animals having unique scoring. In fact, the actual individual animals don't matter. There's different animal types and different types matter, but there's not like, oh, eagle score like this and bear score like that, like there would be in Cascadia. Instead, you have forest, meadow, and glacier all being their own scoring rules. There are also these cards over here. I have played with these in the competitive. They are a lot of fun. They are so brain burning when you add them to the game. Again, this is not a review video. You can check out the review video. I do have one of those, but I'm not playing those in solo because I don't know how you modify the scoring for those in solo, because they just give you more points, so I don't know how the scoring is structured around those. We're not going to play with them. Instead, we are going to start by taking our first tile as we draft them. Now, I will tell you how these score, but in fact, let's take a tile first and then go through the scoring. So right now, I am trying to get the same type of animal in groupings on these over here, which I could do with that to a degree, but not as efficiently as I would like. I do love getting, these tiles over here because it gets me. That's not going to really help me in this case. Lakes, we'll talk about how those score shortly. Glaciers, I want things at different levels, so that could be good over here. In fact, maybe, nope, maybe, yes, this wants different animals, each on a different level. So let's go ahead and play that. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and take this one right now. So we're going to take this tile like so, and we're going to take this over here and put it down on this tile right there. Okay, so we're placing this token down on this spot because it has two icons showing it can host that spot. This tile will go over here because that's where I chose to place it over here. We're going to then remove the rightmost tile as well as the rightmost token, slide these down, and then put out two new pairings over here in order to give us our pool of 4 that we are always picking from. Again, we are going to have 20 turns. Now, why are you doing this? Great question. I'm glad you asked. Basically, there's a few ways that you're going to score for these things in the game. The first thing to note is you're going to score for height automatically. I'll have to double check how solo scores. The basic height rules score differently depending on the player counts. You have to double check that. We'll get to that later. But each of these cards over here has a way that it scores, and height is often taken into account. Glaciers over here are going to give you points for each glacier region. So this is a glacier corridor. It's actually called corridors. This is a glacier corridor. If I had this like this, that would be another glacier corridor over here. These are two separate glacier corridors. Now I have one glacier corridor, if that makes sense. Now I'm going to look at glacier corridors, and they're going to score if they have the same animal at different levels. So I'm going to be building up as I play, and if I have the same animal at different levels, you'll be scoring for that as many as 38 points if you have 5 separate glacier corridors with the same type of animal at different levels. So it's a little bit of a challenge to make that work. Our meadows are going to be the most free to an extent. Meadows are going to score for groupings of the same animal type, plus bonus points for unique groupings within that territory corridor. There, you kind of want one giant corridor and then just try to get as many animals of like type touching each other to different degrees of sizes. It'll all make sense. And then we have the forest over here. Unique triples and levels. Basically what you want to have is you want to have a forest corridor with unique wildlife, each on a different level. So we're going to have different wildlife types all on a different level. That's what you're going to try to do. To that end, it is time to draft another pairing. This one does seem like a good one because I could get this out early. Alternatively, I do like the idea of getting this, but I don't like this token over here. So I think we will go ahead and take this one. We're going to take this one over here. We're going to place this down. That seems like a good spot to place it. And we're going to take this, placing it on that. Now, because that has a little token over there, that pine cone token, I'm going to get a pine cone, which I can trade those in to do other things. We'll talk about those later. Alternatively, they're worth a point at the end of the game if you don't trade them in. So maybe we won't talk about it. Depends if I actually trade them in or not. Now, right now, I have these two animal types, but they are at the same level right now. They're not at level 2 over here. They're both at level 1. So I have to try to boost them up, which will show you how that works as we play. But right now, I do kind of want this right here because this will reward me for that spot. It's also got a lake. Although the lakes, I kind of want to build the lakes up as high as possible. So maybe I'll just go high on the lake and place that out there. But I want to do a lot of things, and it's not letting me do the things that I want to do. But I'll take this over here, and I'll place that there. I could just go like that and then build over that later. It's not the craziest. Alternatively, if I place this over here, no, I'm going to place it over here. I'm going to do this like that. Okay, so I'm placing that over here. I place this on top of that, which is going to be another pine cone, giving me more flexibility that I will choose to never use because I tend to not use the things that I have. But we are still trying to work our way up as far as height goes. We have those tokens coming out. These are not bad tokens. They're not bad tokens. They're good tokens, one could argue. I do like this spot over here because that can go directly on there. There are some rules and restrictions. We'll talk about how those play out. But for right now, I really like this tile. Do I like either of these? Maybe this one. But for right now, we're going to take this one. So I'm going to take this tile over here. We're going to take this, and we're going to build up now. Now, there's a few rules to building up. The first rule, and the most important... Oh, I don't want to go there. I'd rather almost go there. That could be cooler. Let's do that. I like that one. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to take this tile over here and we're going to place it there. Now, the first rule of building up is you have to have at least one thing, one level below it to build up. You can't go directly. So, for example, what I mean by that is I can't take this next tile and put it directly on top of that because I'll have nothing at level 2. If the ground is level 1, if this is level 1 and this is level 2 over here and this is level 3, there's nothing at level 2 around it. You'd have to have at least one thing at level 2 in order to build something at level 3, if that makes sense. You have to be able to kind of step your way up. That's the first rule. There are other rules if you're building underneath animals you've already placed. Now I'm going to take this over here and I'm going to place it down there, taking another pine cone because I'm getting kind of all pine cone jealous over here. Not pine cone jealous, pine cone hungry. I don't know what you want to call it, but I'm getting that, whatever you want to call it. We're going to take 2 tokens in the bag over here, and we do have these birds, which I do want the birds because I'm going to be placing the birds down in here where I'll get another pine cone soon enough. We'll see what happens. Also, coffee break. Anyways, this is Cascadia, Alpine Lakes. We're working our way towards things. Right now in this area over here, in this corridor, we have 3 different animals. But right now, 2 of them are still at the same level. We have to have them at 3 separate levels. But if we do, that's 34 points. No, I have to do it 3 times. I have to do it 3 times to get 34 points. That's hard, but cool. Okay. Anyways, let's do it. So back to this over here. We want this bird over here. I think we do need to start building our way up towards being able to build. You know, honestly, I don't know if I care about what's going on here because I'm taking this for the token over there. I'll take another pine cone. I'll take this, and I'm going to start using this to build up further on top of these levels over here. This one over here, I can't really combine that because that would create a structural problem for me. So I'm going to place this over here like so, and we'll see what happens. We're going to take this, move off to the side, and slide these down. I'm going to see what I can do. I'm trying to get to 120 points, which is going to be challenging. Challenging. Whoa! Okay, mandatory clear over here. See those tokens? We got 4 of the same type. We're going to reach to the bag and draw new ones. Now here we have 3 of the same type. It's an optional clear. So 3 I get to choose. 4 is mandatory. That doesn't apply to these, by the way. It's just to the wildlife tokens. So now we do kind of want another bird for this spot, but we also want to try to build up over here. But there are some complicated rules around how you do that, and none of these tiles will let me do that, which we'll explain more later, but just take my word for it for right now. What I can try to do is I can try to get a puma over here. I don't even know if it's a puma. I'm just calling it a puma for right now. But then this token down here is not the worst. Interesting. That could be a separate corridor. If I build this over here, that's interesting. I don't mind that. And then I put this down here, then I can try to build something here to make this another glacier corridor later and then just not connect the two. I think it works. I think it works. We'll see what happens later, but I think it works. Again, this gets trippier, by the way, as you add those other scoring cards. I need some, dude, I need some forest. I need some forest over here. Wait, that's going to go back over here. This one does not help me. This one does not help me. This could help me. In fact, I could immediately scrap my plans to start working my way towards my next corridor, which I don't mind the idea of that. I really don't. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this over here. I'm going to build this up on top. Now again, the thing is here is that because I'm replacing this animal over here, the animal will go up, but it has to have a matching place for me to put that animal. But I will get that pine cone, which means yes, you can get multiple pine cones from the same animal as it moves up. I'm going to take this tile over here. I'm going to place it down there, which means I've gotten my first right now over here. I got 5 points. So currently at the end of the game, 5 points. So we're working our way towards 120 very, very quickly. But we are going to try to get more out of these over here. We just need the right animals at the right times in the right places. So what can we do next? We have this over here, which can go on top of there to create level 2, which I don't mind at all. It also could, in theory, be used to create level 3, but that's a different conversation for a different day. I think the problem is, do I want this token? I don't know if I care for it. I don't know if I care for it, that's what I'm saying over here. I think if we place this underneath here, then that's not the best. What I could do, I think I'm going to do this anyway, okay? So I'm going to take this, I'm going to put it underneath here like so. That's going to help me move this up, which is, again, part of what we need to do to get our way towards level 3 territory over here. Then we take this and we're going to put it over here. Is that good for me? No idea. We are figuring it out. We're just doing the best we can over here, which is like life in general. We're doing the best we can, trying to make it all work. You know, being a team player. I don't even know what this is. A solo game. I'm not being a team player. So we have 2 levels here. We don't yet have a third. We could immediately go to a third right away with this in theory. This could slot under here, giving us level 3, which would be a 10-point region right there, which would be great. The problem is we have this puma over here, which could go over here, but is that even good for me? Kind of depends on what I do with it. I think I'm going to do that. So we are going to try to build this over here, like so. We now have that, so we now have 10 points plus 5 points because we have this corridor and this corridor. Technically, we also have 5 points from this and 2 points from this, plus a bonus point for each unique size. So that's, you know, another 7, 8, 9. We have 9 plus 5 plus 10. But we also have the pine cones, which are nice, and we also have the height scoring, which will we'll take a few more turns and I'll talk about the height scoring, because honestly, I need to refresh myself. Basically, you want things at level 3 or 4 to be able to get the height scoring, but I don't remember the exact way solo works because, again, my last few plays of this were multiplayer. Okay. So we have our main region over here that we've built. We can start working towards another region with this if we want. The tricky part over here, I can't go to level. You see, I can't go directly over here, but that could be good that could be good for me. So what I think I want to do is I think I almost need to think. I need to think is what I need to do. So how am I going to think is the real question I ask myself every single day. Scores for each forest corridor with 3+ unique wildlife, each on a different level. I do have that, but I'm trying to think. I kind of want this one to build a level 1. I don't know. The problem is I'm building up too high on levels, and I'm not really expanding outwards on the rest. I need more mountain territories too, glacier territories. So I do think I kind of want this one, even though I don't love it, because if I get this to level 2, which I can't actually do, I'm realizing now as I speak, but I still have time to do things then. I still have time. So if I do this like this, okay, there we go. I think that kind of works for what I'm trying to do. Maybe, possibly. I'm not confident. No, we're gonna do it like this. Okay, we're gonna regret it, but we're gonna do it like that. Then I'm gonna take this and put it over here, which gives me a pine cone token. So again, it's a point, and then this will shift down over here. And the tile I'm really trying to get is this one, but I may change my mind by the time it goes away. We'll see. Or alternatively, I might, take it. All right, so we place those out there. And now if I put a tile at level 2, I specifically built it that way, because if I do that, I can then build a tile at level 2. This one's not a bad one to do that, but then I can't put the bird, which is not helpful. I mean, there's ways around that, which we can work on. I might do a way around that. But if I take this one, this will go away, so I can't take this one. That's where they got me. That's where they got me. Okay, so then what can I do? I can take this and put it over here, which might even be worth doing. I say might because I'm not confident. That's why I say might. Oh, I don't think I want to. I don't think I want to. The problem is I need... Ooh, this is trippy. Trippy. We have... This one goes here. Maybe I'll abandon this tile for right now. I'll abandon that. I'll come back to it later. Which means if I come back to it later, what I could do is I could... It's for each glacier corridor if it has an adjacent pair of animals of the same wildlife type. So that means I don't actually care to do that in a different kind of format. What I could do, I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna risk it. I'm gonna take this over here. I'm gonna build this over here like that, which means I'm gonna bump this up on top of it. Then I'm gonna take this and put it over here because that will give me a token here, and if I get another token there, then we're good to go. This, though, is currently not being optimized because of how I did that. So I'm kind of abandoning my earlier plan. We are slowly running out of tiles, which will happen in this game. And right about now, let's take a look at how scoring works, because I'd like to actually know how scoring works as far as the solo. So the height scoring works as follows, because again, it is different based on player count. We have height. Solo game, 2-point bonus for each wildlife type with either 2+ wildlife tokens at level 3 or 1 wildlife token at level 4. So for each of the 5 wildlife types, because there's 5 different types over here, if I have at least 1 on level 4 or 2 on level 3, then I'll score. So for example, these 2 are on level 3, but I only have 1 of them, so I won't get the 2-point bonus. But you can get 10 points of bonuses in solo mode for doing that, which is good, but not the bank that I'm trying to get over here. Now I do need another yellow over there, but I also want to kind of get this whole area foresty, which is going to be a challenge in its own right. What I can do is hope. I can just hope for the best. But I can also work in getting to level 4. That's a possibility. Oh, I like that. I like the possibility of getting to level 4. The tricky part is I kind of want this token over here, but there's nothing else that I want with it. I kind of really want a... I have enough pine cones here. It might be worth doing this. Is it worth doing? Oh my gosh, is it worth doing? Give me a second to think about this. Because if I place this over here, that could have good consequences to an extent, but I don't know if it's as good as I want. Also, I think there's a bonus on wildlife types. Let me just double check one thing. Lakes, wildlife elevation. Each wildlife token of that type that is on level 3 or higher, for each player, score each wildlife type based on the height elevation. So the bonus is just for getting multiple types. But each token on level 3 or higher scores 2 points. So there's merit to doing this, but I'd have to clear it twice. I don't think I want to right now. I think instead what I'm going to do is focus on the forest corridor over here, which means I think if I do this like so, building that there, taking this, placing it here, then this can go up a level, and I have another little forest corridor, but it's all, it's all a level that's not going to help me right now, but, we'll work our way there. We're trying to be ambitious. By the way, this is so much more entertaining than my last solo play, because my last solo play, the whole problem is there's a rule restriction that made it sound like I couldn't go up, even though I could. Complicated stuff. You can check out the Patreon Ko-Fi video if it's there. Also, if you're a member of the channel, I appreciate it. Thank you so much. You're awesome. Now, I do have 3 of these pumas. Again, I don't know if they're pumas, which means I could replace them. And I'm inclined to, but I'm waiting first to see what I need to do. Because this area is golden. Golden! Yeah, you can see golden. It's okay. But this, I want to... What do I want to do? This could swap around like that, which is crazy to me. That would be crazy to me. I don't want that terrain. I want a different tile. I think I am going to replace these. I'm going to allow these to be replaced because I think that as much as they're nice over there, it'd be better if I had different tokens. Okay, so we have those. They go back in the bag. The goat is a donkey, mountain goat, probably mountain goat. It's not as helpful as I want, honestly. This is decent. I think this is decent, but then it goes... It's crazy. All right, we're going to take this, we're going to put it here. We're going to build this up over here, which may or may not be worth it. I haven't figured it out yet. This will go up a level, which could be crazy to me. It just got 2 points out of that because it's not that level. But I'm not quite sure how I feel about this. I'm not quite sure. We're making decisions. We're making decisions, and we are seeing how it goes. All right, see, that's the kind of thing I wanted. In fact, this is exactly the tile that I would have wanted to go like that. That is so frustrating. This tile over here would have been perfect. Perfect. So now I got to figure out if I can still get my hands in it, which is possible. I'd have to build up over here. I think I could get that tile, which is insane. It's a level 4 tile. There's merit to the level 4 tile. This would be level 2, 3, and 4. So we go over here like so. If we do this, okay, let's say if we do this like so, then we have another lake, which is actually, it's good to get a lake there. So we're going to put this over here. No, but if I do that, I can't get the puma out, which is what I kind of want. Alternatively, I'm going to build it this way. So I'm going to build it this way, like I thought the first time. Okay, it's going to go out that way. We're following the height restriction. This is level 3 right now. And then I'm going to spend a pine cone to take a mismatched token. It's one of the things you can do. I'm going to put it over there, which will give me a token right back. So that's actually pretty good, all things considered. Although I still need to change the elevation of some of those tiles, which is going to be its own little challenge. But we'll do our best to make it happen. Then this and this are going to go away. These are going to slide down, which means they change their alignment, which can happen. They go from, like, neutral good to chaotic evil and all that stuff. I don't actually know D&D alignments well enough to know if that was said accurately, but it sounded in my head. All right, this tile is great because it could go over here like so. But I don't know if it's actually great. I think it's just decent, honestly, when I think it through. When I think it through, it's really just decent. And decent is not as compelling as you might think. It's a good start, but it's not as compelling as you might think. But I could still take this and work my way towards a new area, which also has merit. And I do like this tile. It'll give me another pine cone. This is our corridor over here. We'll start surrounding this corridor, and that'll be a level 1. 1, 2, 3. Okay, so we're going to take this. We're going to place it over here. Is that still on camera? It's still on camera. Beautiful. We're going to take this and place it over here, which is going to give us a pinecone token. I think they're actually called, like, nature tokens, by the way. But I've called them, like, anything that's not the word nature token. That's what I call them. Anything that's not nature token. Pine cones, acorns. I think I've called them acorns. I'm pretty sure I have. Okay, so we have this over here. This is great. Now, lakes. I didn't talk about lakes yet. Lakes are going to score based on their height, but they're multiplied if it's surrounded. So this is a level 2 lake and a level 3 lake, which would be 5 points. But if I surround them like that, if I put a tile right over here, that's 10 points from lakes alone. So lakes can be cool. They're also helpful for, like, having continuous territories where you're not placing things down. Although I will say, the way I'm building this terrain out, I'm kind of maximizing my animal, my token usage, my wildlife token. Now again, I do want to branch. Ooh, this is good. This is good. This is good. Okay, but that's not good. That can go there, but it's not helpful. But this combined with that would be good. I think I like that. I think I like that. Alright, so we're going to take this. And we're going to take this token, I guess. We'll take this one over here. So I'm going to do is I'm going to place this under here. Okay, so it's going to bump it up a level again. Which means now we have 2 different wildlife at those levels, plus the level 4 and level 3. So, although honestly we have so many of these, we didn't need that level 4, which is kind of silly. But this one we did benefit from. And then this is going to go down here. So that does a few things. That's going to, I mean, we have to pay a token to do that. But that means we now have a second forest territory and another forest territory, which means we have 22 points from that. We have 2 mountainous regions over here, which means we're at 12 points from that. I really want to get to that 34. I think that's essential to be able to get that 120. Honestly, I think getting the 38 and the 34 are essential, but I don't know if I have enough tiles to do that. Enough time and tiles. Which means now what we're trying to do is we're trying to benefit from building over some of the stuff we've already built to get to another forest territory of another level of height, which is going to be hard. It's gonna be challenging, but we're gonna do the best we can because we have no choice. Okay. So right now, I think we do need to place this out along with a goat. Is that what we're doing? Is that what we're doing? I guess we are. All right. We will take this tile over here. We're gonna place it down over here. That's gonna surround these lakes, which is helpful. We're gonna take this and put it down over there, leaving that as a kind of open terrain to do what we want with. Which is, it's great, we're doing good, but we are running out of time. and getting to a level 3 over here might be very, very challenging. It's a good thing I have all these acorns, I'll say that, or pine cones, or nature tokens. And I actually think I do want this, so I'm not going to do the optional swap just yet. I'm going to think about it, but I don't think I'm going to do the optional swap just yet, because I'm trying to get to a second level 3 of those. Now let's look at my animal types over here, because that actually matters in terms of maxing out my points. Birds over here are not going to get 2 extra points over there. I have a bunch of level 3 plus animals, which is great, but I only have 2 animal types that are actually scoring the bonus points. So I have these 2 are scoring the bonus points as of right now, and that can change, but no guarantees that it changes. It just can, hypothetically, like in an abstract universe, it can change. Getting this to another level would be good, but then we need to put other things out. If I take this one and build it there, then that can go higher on top of it. This makes sense in my head, trust me. Alright, so what we're going to do is we're going to take this tile, we're going to place it over there. Okay, we're going to take this terrain type, this tile over here, place it over there. Then we're going to slide this down. We're going to actually get rid of those and slide this down, and then that will give us something. It's going to give us something. Okay, we're going to have 2 new tokens come out. We do not have the ability to sweep anymore. We're on to our last turns over here, by the way, just as a heads up. How many tokens do I have? I just want to make sure I'm doing this correctly, because I think I counted it right, but we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, which means we're drafting 3 more. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. 3 more. I'm not sure if I did the count right on the tiles, because we should have 20 by the time we're done. So we are going to continue doing this. So we're trying to take this one now, placing it over here. That gives us an animal on level 2, which is amazing in theory, but I still don't know if I'm going to get to level 3 on this. I don't know if I'm going to... That's going to be token number 18. 18. We have 2 more tiles we can take. This feels like it's not going to work. But whatever. We're going to take the nature token all the same. I'm going to try to make it work. Alright, so we have this over here. See, I think I did a count wrong over here on the tiles, because I should have 1 more tile, I believe. Because then I'm going to take 19, we're going to refill. So I'm going to grab a tile from the box over here. We have 2 more tiles over there. And then I have to try to get to level 3 off of this. I don't think it's possible. The way I built this, I don't think it's possible. I'd have to be able to put something like that, which can I? Can I? We can do this like that. We could. Okay, ready? We're going to take this over here, token number 19. So this is going to slide out under from there. That's going to go up over there. And then, can I? Yeah, I have to cover this, but I can do it. Okay, I can do it. And where does this bird go? Don't know if I care, honestly. I don't think it actually makes a difference for me right now. I don't think it matters, so I don't want to give up a pine cone, so I'm just going to discard this right now, which that means it's just going to go away. Then these are going to slide down. That feels crazy to me. I don't think in all my games of Cascadia, I don't think I've ever given up a token completely. This goes away, these come out, and then these 2 new ones come out over here, and we get these 1, 2 over here, and then we actually have 2 tiles we can do this with. Not that it matters to me, because I guess it matters a little bit. I can pay for that. That might be worth it. It's actually worth something. That's worth something. Okay, great. So I'm going to do is I'm going to take this. I'm going to pay a pine cone to take a mismatched one, and I'm going to take this, and I'm going to put this underneath here, okay? And then I'm going to put that on top of that, and then I'm going to put this on here, which is going to give me a pine cone back. Again, it's the same animal type. It would have been great if it was a different animal type. If this is like, I don't know, a donkey, that could have worked out great for me. But it wasn't a donkey, so it didn't work out great for me. Worked out okay for me, I think, all things considered. Could I have optimized that a drop better? Do I have... No, I could have theoretically gambled to try to get that. Is that worth the gamble? 1 second. Is that worth the gamble? Because it's a 2-point bonus. No, I'm going to do a bird in the hand. Basically, I could have hypothetically paid to slice the row over here. And if I had this over here, I could have gotten another one of those, whatever these guys are, beavers or whatever, and then have 2 at level 3, which would have been worth 2 more points for the bonus. But I'd have to give up a point to do that, and there's no guarantee. So I'd be giving up a point, and then if I go 2 points, that's neutral at that point. So whatever. Anyways, that's going to be it, which means we get to score. So now we get to walk through scoring. We'll clear these tokens out of the way, and we'll walk through scoring so you can see how the scoring goes. We have A over here. A again. I'm going to do it in the far right column so we don't get confused over here. And that's A for Alex. And we're going to score for each region. So right now, in the regions, we have forest. We have 1, 2, 3. So 1, 2, 3 different unique animals over here. Now I will say disclaimer over here, The rules are not completely done, which means some of the clarifications aren't present. So, for example, scores for each forest corridor with 3+ unique wildlife. Does having 2 of the same invalidate it? I don't think so, because this, and this are all different height. These 2 are the same height, so this one, if it wasn't here, it would be totally fine. I assume it's fine, but just calling out that I'm not totally certain. We have level 1, 2, and 3, 1, 2, and 3, 1, 2, and 3. I recognize that the levels might be a little harder for you to follow. So we have 34 over there. So that's 34 points for that. It's a good chunk of a way towards our 120. Then we have for the meadow, we are going to score for 1 and 1. We only have 2 on meadow over here, which means we got 2 of that. So that's going to be 4 points. So our meadow core is going to be 4 points, a 1 and a 1. Each one of those is going to be 2 points. Ideally, this wants you building a giant meadow, but I was focusing on the glaciers and the forests. Our glaciers, we have 1 and 2. We never got to the third over here, which means we have 12 points for our glaciers. Not all that great. This 120 is not seeming likely. Then we have for our lakes over here, we have 2 lakes. They are surrounded, so a level 3 and a level 2. We're going to double that. So it's going to be 3 plus 2 is 5. Doubled is 10. That's going to be our starting score, 34 plus 4. I scored higher that last time. 34 plus 4 is 38. 50, 60. We have 60 points for that, okay? But let's see what we get as far as height bonuses. I do not think I scored as well as I wanted. Let's do our nature tokens. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 points in nature tokens over there. This section is going to be for those extra wildlife scoring goals and all that. We're not using those. But then we have for our animal types. So again, the way it works is each animal at level 3 is going to be 2 points. So we have, I guess I'll do it by color. So we have one over there. So we have 2 points over here. 2 points, and that's on level 4, so it gets the bonus 2 points. Then the next animal, we have none level 3. The next one, we have 1 on level 3, so it's going to be another 2 points over there. No bonus, though, unfortunately. Then we have for, that's actually the wrong type over here. That's for the bird, but I'm going to cross that out and put that by there. Then for the goats, we have 1 on level 3. That's going to be that. And then for the, whatever these cute yellow things are, we have 1, 2, 3, 4 on level 3. It's 8 points plus the bonus is 2, so we have 4, 6, 8. Plus 10 is 18, which brings our score to 78 plus 7. 78 plus 7 is 80. 78 plus 7 is 85. 85. We got marginally better than that time that I couldn't actually build out. And how is 85? It's not 120, I'll tell you that. But how is 85 as far as the scoring goes? 85 is very good. I could have gotten a good start. You're getting good at it. Very good. Excellent, amazing, elite, and ascended. I did not get ascended, but I did get very good, which is good enough. I'll take it. But that is how you play a gameplay of Cascadia Alpine Lakes. That's the solo mode of it. If you're playing it competitive multiplayer, you would just not be discarding tiles. Everyone would be doing an open draft, and you'd always have the row available, always be filling it. You would never discard automatically. You would still have 20 turns, and then the scoring for the height bonus, that's going to depend on the player count you're playing at. That has been a solo gameplay of Cascadia Alpine Lakes, and now I'm going to go ahead and set up for the review part, because I've played this much multiplayer. I've played it solo, both wrong and right, and I think I'm ready to go ahead and do a review. Until next time, I'm Alex Radical from Board Game Co. I hope you enjoyed this video, and as always, I hope you have a good one.